Police have been using tear gas on protesters at the Prime Minister's residence. But why? Nicole standing by for us. Tell us more, Nicole.
Well, the situation has really deteriorated here just in the last hour. You can see that crowds of young people are trying to break into the Prime Minister's house. They had been marching here demanding that the Prime Minister resign. The President is expected to resign later today, but they say that that is not enough, that they want the Prime Minister gone as well. You can see the security forces are on the gate there. Tear gas has been fired and young people are trying to break through the gates into this building. Now, they haven't succeeded so far. A curfew has been imposed, effective immediately here in Colombo. Clearly, no one here is paying any attention to that. It also applies to all the Western District, and an emergency law has been introduced. So security forces and officials seem to believe that the situation here may get even worse. In other parts of the city, though, protesters are continuing to occupy key government buildings. They say that they won't leave these buildings until the President resigns officially and the Prime Minister goes. The President, Rajapaksa, has left the country. He left on a military jet and is in the Maldives. We're expecting that from there he'll then go on to another country. I can see some of that tear gas being fired. The crowds are clearly riled up. But aside from the tear gas, it hasn't been a particularly violent protest at all. It was largely peaceful, and people had told us that they had no intention on trying to storm. Just to give you a sense of what's going on. So, a crazy situation here in Sri Lanka. People are frustrated. They have had months of economic disaster. There are food and fuel queues all over the city. Whatever happens politically, that is not going to change their situation on the ground. Now you can hear some of that firing ongoing at the moment. The crowds aren't running.
Let's start moving back, guys.
But we're just going to move out of the way a little bit. Quite unbelievable scenes here in Sri Lanka. We thought it would be a day more of celebration with the news that the President had left the country, which was one of their major demands. But it's not enough for these people. They're so fed up with how their lives have been. How did it end up in such an economic disaster? Well, they blame all of that on the Rajapaksa political dynasty. And they say that until they're all gone and all the cronies, their protests will continue.